Hey, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading a really cool book called Zack's Alligator Goes to School by Shirley Moselle. That's kind of weird, an alligator going to school? Let's see what this is all about. Zack's Alligator Goes to School. Zack rode the school bus with his best friend Turk. "Did you bring Bridget for show and tell?" asked Turk. "Yes," said Zack. "She is here in my pocket." What do you think Bridget is? "You brought a girl for show and tell?" asked Buster. "A girl alligator," said Zack. "And she grows," said Turk. "Sure," said Buster. "What does she grow, roses?" Buster laughed. "You will see," said Turk. Buster reached into his big box on his lap. Look at that. There it is. "This is my show and tell," he said. "Negatron is the greatest robot in the whole world. He can do amazing things." "So can Bridget," Zack said. Now, when they go to school, everyone runs to class. "Show and tell will begin, Mrs. Pickles." "Let me go first," said Buster. "Go ahead, Buster," said Mrs. Pickles. "This is Negatron," said Buster. "Negatron can walk, run, and shoot colored beams from his ray pack. Watch. Click, buzz, click, click." Negatron did not work too well at all. "Oh, it's probably a loose screw," Buster said. Everybody laughed. "Maybe it needs new batteries," said Mrs. Pickles. Buster sat down. "Who's next?" asked Mr. Pickles. "Zack." Zack pulled out a keychain. "This is Bridget," he said. It's not a real alligator, huh? That's Bridget. "It's just a dumb keychain," said Buster. He tried to grab it, but he knocked her out of Zack's hand. Splash! Bridget landed in the aquarium. "Now watch," said Turk. Bridget began to grow larger and larger and larger. "My goodness," said Mrs. Pickles. "Oh," said Bridget, "this feels great." The alligator's coming to life. "Wow," said Sam, "a crocodile." Bridget jumped up. "I beg your pardon," she said. "I'm a gator. A gator from the Glades." That stands for Everglades. That's in Florida. "Where did you get her?" asked Becky. "From my Uncle Jim," said Zack. "He lives in the Everglades." "She's alive," said Mrs. Pickles. Mrs. Pickles is really freaked out about this alligator. "Does she bite?" asked Becky. "Sometimes," says Bridget. "I want one like her," said Amy. "Me too," says Becky. "Hey, Zack," said Bridget. "Is this school?" "Yes," said Zack. "And these are my friends. Pleased to meet you," said Bridget. She began to sing. "I feel great. Alligator great." She's gotten pretty big here, huh? Do you know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? Maybe that's an extra credit science problem for you. Comment below on the difference between a crocodile and an alligator, and I'll give you extra credit. Just then, Buster knocked Negatron. The robot began to march across the room. "Whir, whir, whir. Don't worry, Bridget. I will get that monster." "No," shouted Buster. But Bridget did not stop. "Watch out," cried Mrs. Pickles. The class moved out of the way. "Come on, Bridget," said Turk. "Where did he go?" cried Bridget. "Over there," said Amy. Bridget grabbed Negatron and said, "Got you. You won't whir around me anymore." Click, click, buzz, buzz. Then Megatron stopped. "Give me that," said Buster. "What's the magic word?" asked Bridget. "Please," he said. "I did not want that thing anyway," said Bridget. Suddenly, she saw a dinosaur balloon. "Cousin," she shouted, "it's good to see you." As Bridget ran to the dinosaur, she stepped on Amy's skateboard. "Whee!" she yelled. "This is fun." "Stop," cried Mrs. Pickles. Bridget went too fast. She crashed. She knocked over the ant farm and bumped into the radio. Ants crawled out. Music was playing. Ugh, said Bridget. I hate ants, but I love music. This has gone far enough, said Mrs. Pickles. I'm getting the principal. Bridget jumped back on the skateboard. Wait, said Amy. Put these on. Amy helped Bridget put on a helmet, knee pads, and elbow pads. There, said Amy. Now you're ready. Look at Bridget's going to be riding the skateboard around, huh? Bridget skated over to the dinosaur. Let's dance, she said. Bridget whirred and twirled the dinosaur around the room. You are so light on your feet. But Bridget whirred and twirled the dinosaur too hard. Whoosh! It fell across the room and crashed into Buster. Oh no, cried Bridget. What have I done to you? Don't worry, said Becky. You just knocked the air out of him. Then Bridget saw something else. What is this? She asked. It's a map, said Zack. Here's where we live, and here are the Everglades. That does not look like home, said Bridget. It is too small and dry, and there are no fish or snakes. Oh, it's just a map. Just then, Nancy threw her basketball to Bridget. Catch, she said. Bridget caught the ball and threw it back. This is fun, said Bridget, and she sang, I can do anything, and I mean anything. Suddenly, Bridget stopped. I'm thirsty, she said. Zack gave her some orange juice. Then Bridget ate Zack's sandwich. Meatloaf special, she said. My favorite. Bridget ate all of Zack's lunch, even the pickles and bananas. That was a nice snack, she said. Then Turk gave Bridget his tuna sandwich. Amy gave Bridget her peanut butter sandwich. Even Buster said, Here, you can have mine. Delicious, said Bridget. Let's play with my detective set, said Turk. I can take your footprints. Press your feet down on this ink pad. Now press them down on paper. When Bridget picked up her feet, there was 2 large prints. Ooh, this is fun, she said. Let's do my other 2 feet. That tickles, said Bridget. Now Turk had 4 prints, but the last 2 were smaller. She's shrinking, said Turk. I know, said Zack. Uh-oh, she's going away? Bridget danced over to Amy's desk and sang, Oh, I'm a gator from the glades. I love snakes and slugs. I love alligator hugs. Bridget was becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. She needs water, said Zack. Just then, Mrs. Pickles came back with the principal, Mr. Turp. What's all this I hear about an alligator, said Mr. Turp. The children ran to their seats. Goodbye, Bridget, Amy said softly, and passed Bridget to Becky. May I see that? Asked the principal. Becky held up Bridget. This belongs to Zack, said Becky. It's only a keychain, Mrs. Pickles, said the principal. Oh, no, it isn't, said Mrs. Pickles, but the principal left. Becky passed Bridget to Buster. Bridget smiled at Buster, and Buster smiled back. He gave Bridget to Turk. It's been fun, Bridget, Turk said, and he gave Bridget to Zack. Bridget looked up at Zack. I did it all, she said. Now I'm sleepy. I know, said Zack. Sleep tight. Will you water me again soon? Asked Bridget. Yes, said Zack. See you later, alligator. Bridget smiled and went to sleep. The end.